Call the special meeting of the Municipal Council to order at 7:03. Please stand and join me in salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Withers, would you kindly read the notice for the special meeting?
December 4th, 2019, two members of the Municipal Council from Mark J. Cooper, Council President. Councilors, by authority of Article 2, Section 2-7C of the Attleboro Home Rule Charter, I hereby call a special meeting of the Municipal Council as follows. Date, Tuesday, January 14th, 2020. Time, 7 p.m. Place, Council Chambers. Purpose, to discuss any legal matters before the Council. Sincerely, Mark J. Cooper, Council President. C.C. Mayor Paulsworth.
Thank you. At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of November 5th, 2019.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
I'd also entertain a motion to approve the minutes of November 12th, 2019.
Second.
Thank you. Any motions in order? Any questions or comments? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
One last one. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of November 19th, 2019.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any questions or comments? We'll be suspending the rules this evening to go into committee, and then we will come back from committee meeting. This is generally the flow, the first meetings in January, just to get us on track and so that there's no delay on any of the votes of the council. So, any questions about that? Seeing none, we'll begin with a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. DeLisio.
Yes.
Mr. Kobus.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes. We are now operating under suspended rules. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to go to recess.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? We're going to recess for committee meetings. Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. We are recessed, 7:05.
Report.
Just give me.
I would like to call the Personnel and Human Services Committee to order at 7:05. From the docket of January 21st, 2020. I would like to entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Beth Gould, 14 Hutchinson Road, to fill an expired term on the Board of Library Trustees, term to expire February 2023. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. And before we have a vote, I would like to introduce Beth. Yes, Beth, if you would like to come up to the podium. And what is your name and your address, please?
Beth Gould, 14 Hutchinson Road, Attleboro, Mass.
Thank you. And I want to tell you, I really appreciate your interest in the Attleboro Board of Trustees, and I know there's at least one other counselor that's also feeling that way quite strongly. And can you share a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Sure. I've lived in Attleboro for 17 years. I was involved with the Literacy Center for 10 years, first as a volunteer and then as an employee. During that time, I got to know the community quite well. The challenges of the community, the different groups in the city that need attention, especially the immigrant community. I was very heavily involved with that. I did leave the Literacy Center in 2016 for another adult education opportunity, which I do now in Dedham, and I still teach ESOL. I still work as program manager and advisor in another program. So I left the Literacy Center a little over 3 years ago, and I haven't done much in the community since then. And I really want to get back into things. And as far as I'm concerned, the library, it's sort of the hub of the community. So much happens there, so many social services come out of that building. It's people think my father-in-law said, "Oh, that'd be good. That's interesting. You love books." I said, "It's not just about books. It's about a lot of things." So, I wanted to get more involved, and I wanted to be able to sort of be under the umbrella of everything. And I think the library is the perfect place for that. I have a Master of Library Science. I got 100 years ago. Or it seems like it. So I do have that background as well. I used to work as a news librarian in Brockton. So.
Well, thank you. That's quite a background. I appreciate it. Are there any questions, responses?
May I say something, Council?
Please, absolutely.
Beth, I'm particularly excited that you're going to be serving, if you're approved, on the library board. I know Beth well. I think you're going to be a wonderful asset to the library and to the community. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You can be seated for a second,
Okay.
if you would
Thank
like.
you.
Thank you very much.
And so we can have a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? Vote passes 3-0, and it will go to the council the next appropriate time. So we go to another matter now. From the docket of January 21st, 2020, I would like to entertain a motion to strike the following. We are striking. The motion is the public hearing relative to the suspension and removal of Joseph Caponegro from the Traffic Study Commission. The word is public. I want to note that. Are there any questions?
Need a second.
We need a second for that.
You want to just repeat that?
Okay, I'll repeat that. The motion to strike the public hearing relative to the suspension and removal of Joseph Caponegro from the Traffic Study Commission.
There's another motion.
Second.
There's another motion coming.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there is. Okay. Are there any questions now? Yes, President Cooper.
So let me frame what we are doing. So the first motion is to strike the public hearing that the council called for this section 3.4 hearing, which will be the next item for the brought before the committee and then before the full council. I spent 2.5 hours with the city solicitor and the mayor today reviewing how this section 3.4 hearing should go. It is not a public hearing that we typically have before the honorable body. So it is a section 3.4 hearing, which will include testimony from the mayor, from Mr. Caponegro, from the Traffic Study Commission during that hearing. So that's the second part of this. The first part is making sure that we're calling the correct hearing to afford the opportunity that the Mr. Caponegro asked for of this body and of the mayor to have that hearing that shall be public.
Are there any questions?
Just to the Mr. President, will we have the opportunity to question at that time?
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or discussion? Yes. Councilor Delizio.
Thank you. Through the chair to President Cooper, will the public have the opportunity to have their voices heard during
Not
this?
at that public, not at the public meeting.
Okay. When?
The public can address the council on any matter of city business at committee of the whole,
Okay.
if they so choose.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, we ready for a vote then? All right. Now remember that a yes means that we are striking the public hearing relative to the suspension and the removal of Joseph Caponegro from the Traffic Study Commission. We're striking the word public, essentially. Okay. All those in favor of the motion?
Excuse me, point of order.
I thought we're striking hearing. We had it as a public hearing,
No,
and
let me
it's
make-
becoming a public meeting.
Let me
correct?
make it perfectly clear. What is called for in the charter is section 3.4 is a hearing before the public, the mayor, and the council. That's not what we called for, because we didn't know any better before the meeting with the solicitor. So we called for a public hearing. The next motion before the committee will be to have that section 3.4 hearing at 7 PM in council chambers. So it's
It's the same, but
It's-
not the same. It's called the same. So why why does Ty keep calling it, we're knocking out public?
we're knocking out public hearing. It's not a public hearing.
It's called a public hearing, but it's not a public
No,
hearing.
it's called.
And a hearing. Thank
it's
you.
se- Yes.
Thank you. All right.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions before we vote? All those in favor of striking this?
Aye.
Yeah, aye.
Okay. And I say aye, so the vote passes 2-0. All right. Now, also from the docket of January 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion to call for a section 3.4 hearing on January 21st, 2020 at 7 PM in the council chambers with the mayor and the city council relative to the suspension and the removal of Joseph Caponegro from the Traffic Study Commission.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments?
I just have one, excuse me, through the chair to the council president.
Yes.
Mr. President, so it's a hearing, and I get that, and the public's gonna be there, but does the mayor get to decide who speaks, whether the public gets to speak or not? Is that his determination?
That's the determination of the solicitor.
Okay.
And that's what was negotiated today.
Got it.
That the council will have the opportunity to ask questions. The traffic study will have an opportunity to offer testimony. The individual will have an opportunity to state his case, and the mayor will state his case and ask any questions of answer any questions of the council.
And this is a precedence, it's never been
That's right.
done okay, I hope it's never done again.
Thank you. And then just to continue down that, to give everybody what the process will continue, once that section 3.4 hearing is closed, we will recess for a Personnel and Human Services Committee meeting to vote the matter before the committee, to then go back to the full council, to then vote the matter on that evening before the full council. So that's the end-to-end process. So during the committee or during the full council, we can debate the merits of the hearing.
Great.
It's up to Council Waterman now.
Oh, Councilor Reynolds.
So, well, I'm going to bring it back through the chair to the council president. Does this mean that at that particular moment in time, people from the community can come and speak at the council of the whole that night?
It's up to those individuals.
That's what I'm saying, but the people are calling me and asking, when can they speak? And so you're saying that they can speak that night when this all happens, once it gets back to the council of the whole?
That's right.
Okay, and this is happening on the date of?
21st.
21st.
But
Same
I just
date
wanna
and
be
time.
sure, on the
Same date and time. We are not moving the date and time to
The
accommodate this hearing.
21st, so, okay, that's all I wanted to be sure of.
Sure,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Delizio.
Thank you. Through the chair to President Cooper, on that night, will we be suspending the rules? And the reason I ask is because committee of the whole would be after this meeting?
We have to suspend
The rules.
the rules right out of the gate because we're having a public meeting, not a public hearing.
So my question is twofold. One, if the public isn't allotted the opportunity to speak at committee of the whole prior to going into Councilor Waterman's committee,
No, that'll be the order.
That
So
will
it'll
be
be,
the order.
that's
So we
right.
would allow it.
We will do committee of the whole
Excellent.
prior to the recess.
good. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that because at the traffic committee meeting, traffic study meeting on Thursday, you promised the board that you'd be fair. you run this in a very fair manner, and I think having the public's opportunity to be heard, I think is that fair opportunity, so thank you.
Just to clarify, the Traffic Study Commission will have the opportunity to speak
Yep.
during the hearing,
Yep,
right?
fully understand that.
Okay.
Yes. Any other questions or concerns? Councilor Copus.
Just to clarify, I would assume to the council president, but when we vote this out of committee and then before the full council on next Tuesday, it's my understanding that it's still the mayor that decides the ultimate result. So I was wondering, what is it that we're voting on?
I would defer that answer to President Cooper.
You're right. I mean, it's no surprise, Council Cobus, that the ultimate decision is of the mayor, right? But the individual called for a hearing before this honorable body, the mayor, that would be public, in which he would be afforded an opportunity to give his reasons why he doesn't think he should be removed, right? So that, and to give the public the opportunity to offer any testimony that the council should consider in its vote of the matter. But you're absolutely right. This body does not have any governance over whether or not the mayor can remove the individual. Does that answer?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Councilor
Mr.
Blair.
Cooper, so what exactly are we gonna vote on after we have this hearing?
Well, I think it's important for the council, and many of you have called me and reached out to me that it's important that the council take a position on the outcome, whether or not that it affects that outcome or not, to take a position on the suspension,
So our vote is
termination.
just an opinion, basically.
essentially. Yeah.
Okay.
It's got no,
It's got no bearing on the outcome.
okay.
Yep.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'm going to read this one more time. We've had a motion, we've had a second, but I want to reread it. I entertain a motion to call for a section 3.4 hearing on January 21st, 2020 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers with the mayor and city council relative to the suspension and removal of Joseph Caponegro from the Traffic Study Commission. We have our second.
We already do.
It was already said.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I say aye. Opposed? No. Passes 3-0. We move to another order of business. And now I entertain a motion to approve the following reappointments to positions and for terms as indicated. And these individuals I will comment on later. Laban O'Brien, the alternate inspector of wiring, 1 year, expiring February 2021. Cynthia Amara, the city solicitor, 1 year, expiring February 2021. Dorothy Brissett, community development director, 2 years, expiring February 2022. Scott LaChance, the director of emergency management, 3 years, February 2023. Ken Battister, trouble with that name, Director of Veterans Services, Agent and Burial Agent, 2 years, February 2022. Scott LaChance, Forest Warden, 1 year, February 2021. Christopher Quinn, the Health Officer, 1 year, February 2021. William McDonough, Inspector of Buildings, Mechanical Inspector, 3 years, February 2023. Kyle Hegney, Lockup Keeper, 1 year, expiring February 2021. Catherine Rigo, Parking Administrator, 1 year, February 2021. Dennis Walsh, Recreation Director, 3 years, expiring February 2023. And finally, Michael Tyler, the Superintendent of Public Works, 3 years, expiring February 2023. Do I have? Thank you. Are there any questions or thoughts, concerns? Seeing none. And all seems to be in order. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? I hear none. Motion passes 3-0. And also, from the docket of January 7th, 2020, in accordance with vote number 7 of May 21, 2019, I entertain a motion to appropriate $27,900 from account 1000-359000 undesignated fund balance free cash general government to the following: account 1121-1000-514030 Mayor Longevity, $2,700. Account 11331000-514030 Budget Administrator Longevity, $3,200. Account 11351000-514030 Audit / Accounting Longevity, $2,100. Account 11451000-514030 Treasurer Longevity, $1,300. Account 11461000-514030 Collector Longevity, $200. Account 11521000-514030 Personnel Longevity, $400. Account 11611000-514030 Clerk Longevity, $200. Account 11621000-514030 Elections Longevity, $900. Account 11751000-514030 Planning Longevity, $2,300. Account 12401000-514030 Inspection Longevity, $400. Account 12921000-514030 Animal Control Longevity, $2,100. Account 142010000-514030 Public Works Longevity, $1,300. Account 151010000-514030 Health Longevity, $7,200. Account 1541000-514030 Council on Aging Longevity, $3,200. Account 161010000-514030 Library Longevity, $200. Account 163010000-514030 Recreation Longevity, $200.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Yes.
I just have a general question. The longevity payments, are those, do you know if those are contractual payments? Do you know if it is?
Yes, I believe they are.
Okay. And then, so do we know why it's coming out of the free cash? Is that a standard? I don't remember us doing that in the past, so I just,
I did not ask that question.
okay.
Yes.
If I may, we've always,
Is it always come out of free cash? Okay. Just something I jumped out at me, I was
I
curious.
believe we did this last year.
Okay.
It's very similar. Any other thoughts or questions? All right. All those in favor?
aye.
Okay. I say aye also. Vote passes 3-0. We have 3 other items. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to approve the transfer of $4,400 from account 6000-578300, the wastewater enterprise fund, reserve fund for transfer, to account 6000-514030, wastewater enterprise fund, longevity. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, concerns? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Vote passes 3-0. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to transfer $2,300 from account 6100-578300, the Water Enterprise Fund, Reserve Fund for transfer to account 6100-514030, the Water Enterprise Fund for longevity.
Second.
Thank you. Any concerns, questions, thoughts? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The vote passes, there are no noes, 3-0. And finally, from the docket of December 3rd, 2019, I entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Gianna Pena to fill an expired term on the Attleboro Youth Commission, term to expire February 2023. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any concerns or questions, comments? Yes.
I find Gianna, who's a friend of a current youth commission member, for those who don't know, I am the mentor of the youth commission, going on my
Yes.
7th year as such. Gianna has been volunteering her time at some of the events, some of the meetings. I look forward to having Gina's continued energy, participation. I think she's going to bring a lot to the youth commission, and she's just been a pleasure to have on as a volunteer. It'd be great to get her as a full-time member.
That's wonderful. We'll look forward to having you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So the vote passes 3-0. Yes. And that concludes the business of the Personnel and Human Services Committee this evening. I'll call for the next committee meeting, the next appropriate time. Call for adjournment.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
Katie, you up next? Oh, no. Thank you. Call the Committee on Public Safety and Emergency Management to order at, I can't see the clock, Mr. Coley.
7:30?
7:30, thank you. From the docket of January 21st, 2020. The Fire Department has received an emergency management performance grant from the Massachusetts Energy Management Association Agency of $15,500. These funds may be utilized for the emergency management related activities and equipment procurement. Therefore, I entertain a motion to approve expending of such funds and therefore, I entertain a motion to approve expending of such funds and any future grant amendments in accordance with the city ordinance.
Second.
Any questions on this particular matter? It's something I think we get this grant most every year. Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. From the docket of January 21st, 2020, the Attleboro Police Department, in collaboration with the Taunton Police Department, has been awarded a 2020 Senator Charles E. Shannon Jr. Community Safety Initiative Grant of $10,705.30. Therefore, I entertain a motion to approve expending of such funds and any future grant amendments in accordance with the city ordinance.
Second.
This is another grant that comes around every year, and again, thank you to the grant writers and their work in obtaining these funds. It certainly helps the extras that we probably can't afford to come up with. Yes, Mr. Delicio.
Thank you, Chairman Blair. Every year, this is one of the grants I look forward to because of the work that it does. It goes into helping, I believe, youth some of the troubled youth in the city with drugs and potential gang affiliation. And it's great to see the collaboration with another municipality's police department. So this is one of the stalwart grants that we get every single year, and it's one that I look forward to coming down every year.
Thank you. I also, like I said, I've said it in the past and I'll say it again, these grant writers do a tremendous job for the city. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Move to adjourn at 7:33. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.
I'd like to call the Public Works Committee together at 7:33 p.m. I have 3 motions this evening to discuss with you all. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to transfer $1,000 from account 1124100-578300, Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer, to account 1292100-587060, Animal Control Vehicle and Equipment, for the insurance deductible due to damage sustained to the animal control vehicle.
Second.
Thank you. So there was a minor accident where the animal control vehicle actually backed into a truck, into one of their own trucks. So this is a deductible that we need to pay in order to get the repairs completed. Any comments, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Secondly, from the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to the request of the mayor to appropriate $262,458.47 from account 6100-359000 Water Enterprise Fund retained earnings to account 6100-553-150 Water Enterprise Fund water meters. These funds are needed for the ongoing water meter replacement program for fiscal year 2020. To date, 83% of residential meters have been upgraded.
Second.
Thank you. As you know, we do this quite often. We're trying to get the whole city on the new meters, and it's good to hear that we're almost complete. They do go out to bid every year, and of course, bids go up. Pricing goes up on everything every year, but it's never the same. Any comments, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Lastly, from the docket of January 7th, 2020, the Parks Department has requested funds to purchase a Freightliner heavy-duty grapple body with a heavy-duty 10-foot chip box with a 45-degree dump angle to replace a 2003 F450 4x4. Therefore, I entertain a motion to fund account 16501-000-587071 Park Chip Truck in the amount of $265,907 by transferring $153,000 from account 1124100-5730 Citywide Reserve for capital, and appropriating $112,907 from account 1000-359000 undesignated fund balance free cash general government.
Second.
Thank you. So their chipper truck is on its way out, and after speaking with Superintendent Corsi, he had actually said that by replacing it with this particular truck, they're going to be able to get to a lot more trees with the crane. One thing I did ask him if they have to have a hoister license, but they don't have to have that, or yeah, because I don't know much about trucks like that. But anyways, so it won't have a plow on it, and the reason is because if they had a plow on this particular truck, it would eat up all the mechanics that go on with this chipper, and the salt would ruin it. But he did say by purchasing this truck, it's almost like adding 4 additional crew members. It's going to do that much work, but they do need to replace their chipper. Mr. Blair?
Katie, this truck is also a chipper?
Yes.
So you don't tow one around, this truck actually is the chipper?
Yes, that's correct. And even in the, I'm trying to remember but he was saying like the crane, I guess, that goes up, it actually tucks back behind the truck, so it all is like kind of compact.
So it's a combination unit?
Yes.
From reading the figures, I said, we voted on a lot of stuff before, and this seemed the price was high, but it's not high if it includes a chipper and the rest of it.
That's correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. And that's all the motions that I have this evening for the Public Works Committee. I'd like to call for an adjournment at 7:38.
Second?
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
I'd like to call Budget and Appropriations to order at 7:38. Sitting with me is Councilor Cobus and Vice President Jackson. Will you be my third?
Yes, I would.
Thank you very much. I have several motions tonight. From the docket of January 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion to transfer $45,000 from account 1000-359000, undesignated fund balance, free cash, general government, to account 11451-000-530101, treasurer, professional services, regarding the need for additional funding for anticipated legal fees for old tax titles and foreclosures.
Second.
Thank you, Council Cobus. This one is just to allow, a lot of this is just going to be money, not just here, but some transfers to get certain departments through the end of the fiscal year. This is one so Laura can continue to pay the legal fees which go into the tax title. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. From the docket of January 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $100 from account 11241-000-578300, citywide reserve fund for transfer, to account 1111100-5421010, council supplies office for supplement for remainder of the fiscal year.
Second.
Thank you, Todd. This is just to help Virginia get through the rest of the fiscal year. So,
I'm gonna disagree strongly with this one.
well, I figured you would. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to transfer $4,705 from account 11241-000-587054, citywide boiler replacement, to account 11241-000-578300, citywide reserve fund for transfer of the boiler replacement project. Actually, I'll leave that there.
Second.
Thank you, VP Jackson. This is just to transfer the rest of the money that wasn't used in the contingency from the boiler project from October back to the reserve fund for transfer. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. I entertain a motion to transfer $8,000 from account 1541000-51100, Council on Aging salaries, to account 1541000-524011, Council on Aging maintenance of buildings, to provide cleaning services at the senior center due to the retirement of the custodian in November.
Second.
Thank you, Council Cobus. So, since the retirement of the custodian in November, the senior center has been using a cleaning company. They're satisfied with the services they're providing. They'd like to take $8,000 from the custodian account to continue using this custodian cleaning service. So, makes sense to me. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you, motion passes. I entertain a motion to transfer $50 from account 11241-000-5783000, citywide reserve fund for transfer, to account 15431-000-578020, veterans' bills from the previous year to pay a fiscal 2019 invoice from the Veterans Office.
Second.
All right, thank you, Councilor Cobus. So this is to pay off the remainder of the flags that we used in preparation for the Memorial Day activities, whether it's graveside, whether it's putting them out on the street poles. So what had happened is some of the flags were back ordered, so they weren't in stock when we needed them. So then the invoice came late. I believe it came in the end of November, which is why we're seeing it now. Questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. Let's see. I'm gonna hold this one for, actually, give me 1 second, folks. I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor regarding the need to pay a Veterans Office fiscal year 2019 invoice from United Site Services in the amount of $236.50. Vote authorizing payment is needed to satisfy this debt. There is no transfer of funds needed for these services as there is sufficient funding in 1543100-578020 Veterans Bill from previous years.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Corbis. So at the beginning of the Memorial Day parade, at the beginning of the route, there were 2 portable restrooms. So this company actually billed each portable restroom separately. So the veterans agent, I mean, I probably would have done the same thing, looked at it and thought it was a double invoice, and hadn't heard back, May until the end of November. So they have the money available. This is just him to authorize a debt. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. I entertain a motion to strike the following from the docket of March 19th, 2019. To establish a budget under a specific department and superintendent for the former Highland Country Club.
Second.
Thank you, Council, VP Jackson. It's already done. We have the line item in the budget now, so no need to keep that in there. Questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. I entertain a motion to strike the following from the docket of April 4th, 2017, that the city of Attleboro accept a local exemption to allow research and development corporations to be taxed as manufacturing corporations in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 59-5, Chapter 16, subsection 3, as amended by the state 2010, Chapter 240 through 108, effective for tax years beginning on or after January 1st, 2018.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Corbis. This has been sitting here for a while. I don't know that it makes sense, but if it's something that Councilor Conti is interested in bringing in, he always can. Councilor Corbis?
Okay, I was just going to say with Councilor Conti not here, maybe we can hold off for 2 weeks before striking this, but he can always reintroduce it.
Yeah,
It's been
and-
around for a while.
No, and I appreciate that sentiment, and I thought about that, but I did also I want to say the end of November, at one of the meetings, I said I will be striking these in January, so I never heard back from him, so ample time. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I entertain a motion to strike the following from the docket of unknown: to research, investigate, establishing a separate stabilization fund for the purposes of establishing a fund to replace the Attleboro High School track surface and/or the artificial athletic field in the future.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Corbis. This is another one that's been sitting here. I want to say this has been sitting here since 2015. I don't know that it makes sense at this point where, we're still probably about 8 years into this one, and I believe there's already some mechanisms in place to ensure that the maintenance is being done. So although I appreciate Mr. Kirby and Mr. Conti when they brought it in, I think that it's probably just a little stale dated. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Finally, I entertain a motion to strike the following from the docket of somewhere between 2008 and 2011, to establish a procedure for notifying business community of proposed new ordinance or revisions to existing ordinances that may affect their businesses.
Second.
Thank you, VP Jackson. This has been sitting here, and I believe it was well before, and I will tell you honestly, part of me from a sentimental standpoint has not struck this because of my relationship with the late Bill Bergevine. So I think he's probably looking down like, dude, let's get going, let's get this thing out of here. So any other questions, thoughts, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. I would entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:47.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 7:47.
Call the Zoning and Land Use Committee to order at 7:47. On the committee is myself, Counselor Holmes, Counselor Delicio. Tonight we have one order of business from the docket of October 22nd, 2019. I entertain a motion to declare available for disposition a 7,236 square foot area of a discontinued portion of Frank Mossberg Drive specified as Lot A, as shown on the plan entitled Street Discontinuance Plan of Land in Attleboro, Massachusetts, prepared by John D. Bremser, PLS of Hancock Associates, 183 Center Street, Danvers, Mass. 01923, dated April 8th, 2019.
Second.
So this matter here, remember back in June of last year, we voted on and approved the street discontinuance on Frank Mossberg Drive. There was a circle and they continued the street, and the discontinuance was for that half of the circle that still remained. So we voted on the discontinuance of that, the street discontinuance, so that that's no longer considered a street. This is the second portion of that. This is the, we're declaring it available for disposition so that the city can sell that small piece of land. The public hearing for this was held on November 19th. It was a quick public hearing. Nobody came to speak in favor or opposition of this. I don't see any issues with it, so does anybody have questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. That concludes the business for the Zoning and Land Use Committee. I move to adjourn.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned at 7:50. And I'm gonna quickly call to order the committee for the special committee for tax abatement review. Call to order at 7:50. On this committee is myself, Counselor Delicio, and Counselor Blair. I don't have any business before the committee today, but I wanted to give us a chance to talk, the three of us. My focus and what I'm looking at primarily now is the tax freeze. And I think that needs to be our top priority with this. I've been speaking with Representative Hawkins and his assistant Tara Major, who they have something before the state, but we want to try to move forward locally. So if anybody has any suggestions or do either of you disagree with that as sort of our top priority thing to move forward with, or any comments? I saw Councilor Delicio first.
Yeah, no, I certainly am not opposed. I really don't. I'm not.
Okay.
I've spent several hours speaking with both Mrs. Major as well as Representative Hawkins. I think my suggestion would be to have an off-night meeting, because this is very complex, very cumbersome. And I think if we're going to do it, there's several different ways and several different options we're going to have to look at. And I think that a night dedicated to that, I would ask you to invite the representative and Mrs. Major. This way here we can continue to work in conjunction with our state delegation. So that if there's anything that comes down from the state delegation, we can kind of piggyback that and vice versa.
Okay, I will work through Virginia to schedule something
Excellent.
for us, and we'll communicate that with everybody.
Thank you.
Councilor Blair.
I think it's paramount that we get this done, this ASAP.
I agree 100%.
Because over the last 20 years, I don't think I've had as much interest from constituents, elderly, people that are finding it tough, and they're going to find it even tougher come July, that the increase in taxes is definitely going to affect home ownership for some of these people. I made a promise during election, and election promises are just what they are, election promises, but this one I plan to push and stay in front of, that we freeze those taxes for the senior citizens. They paid their share, and it's time that they can budget effectively for the remainder of time they spend in their home. Having a fixed figure to budget on is sure better than ifs and ors and, $200, $300, $400 increases or whatever. So I'm looking forward to working with you gentlemen. as a group to get this done for our seniors.
Outstanding. And just for, as much for you and for the people at home, from a strategic perspective, my view is I think it's more important for us to get something on the books and the program established as soon as possible, even if it doesn't help as many people as we might want to. I'd like to get the program created, and then down the road, once we fully understand the impact to the city budget and all of that, we can then start to change the numbers. But for me, and from a strategic perspective, it's most important to get something on the books and get the program at least established and get our foot in the door, and then we can start to expand it. When we talk further, we can, agree with that, disagree with it, but that's my perspective right now.
I agree with you, Mr. Cobus. I think we can't do it all at once, But if we don't start and we don't get this in motion, it's never gonna happen.
Agreed.
To that
Councilor
point, I
Deleuze,
would just add that whatever we get on the books is better than what we have on the books now. And isn't this a point where we say it's called the revised ordinances?
Exactly. Councilor Waterman.
Councilor Cobus, I applaud this committee for taking on this task. This is, I would say, the #1 issue that I hear constantly at the Council of Aging. And Social Security is going up approximately 1% a year, so you can only imagine how quickly people go under when that happens, particularly if they're not able to work in any other way. So thank you for your efforts.
Thank you. We'll obviously keep you in the loop. Before I adjourn, does anybody else have any other suggestions or comments with regard to any of this? Nope. All right, with that said, move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The committee is adjourned at 7:56.
I'd like to call License Committee to order at 7:56. I have one motion this evening from the docket of January 21st, 2020. 97 Emery Street LLC has withdrawn a request for an amended Class 2 license. Therefore, I request the following. I entertain a motion to approve the Class 2 license for 97 Emery Street LLC with 5 parking spaces and 12 display spaces.
Second.
So,
Back in the front?
they had filed their application, they were going to amend their license to have a name change. They decided, excuse me, against that. And I guess these folks were the owners of South Attleboro Auto Sales, which the property sold. They transferred cars recently from South Attleboro to Emery Street. So they're over on their cars. So I spoke with both owners today, and I have an appointment with them on Friday to go and recount the cars to make sure that they're in compliance, and she assured me that they would be. So therefore, I'm gonna vote this out of committee tonight. I won't be voting at full council tonight. I'll be voting at full council next Tuesday on the 21st. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
No?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. So, before I adjourn, I just wanted to say, anybody that's on my committee and anybody that's in the council, if you happen to go by any car dealerships, are there any issues, anything's going on, feel free to reach out to me. As the chair of the committee, I think it's important. I've developed relationships with these people, with most of them, not all of them. So I think it's important that if you all could reach out to me first before taking anything upon yourself. And with that, I'd like to call for adjournment at 7:58.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:58.
I'd like to call the City Property and Claims Committee to order at 7:57. Members of my committee are myself, Councilor Blair, and Councilor Holmes. From the docket of January 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion to declare the following budget administration parking enforcement item as surplus and available for disposition. It's a 2006 Ford Crown Victoria, VIN number 2FAFP71W76X122159. Has 142,000 miles, 272, and the condition is poor.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes. From the docket of January 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion that the Veterans Office accept the anonymous donation of $100 in Stop and Shop gift cards and $500 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the Disabled American Veterans Chapter 91. As always, thank you for these generous donations.
Second.
Thank you. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That motion passes. From the docket of January 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion that the generous donation to the Attleboro Police Department of a Dell Inspiron 5482 computer laptop with an approximate value of $800 be accepted from the Attleboro Rotary Club.
Second.
Thank you. Any concerns, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to declare surplus and available for disposition the Fire Department's 2008 GMC ambulance, VIN number 1GDE4V1998F409865, that was removed from service and donated to the Special Signal Fire Association, which is a 510c3 nonprofit organization that operates the Providence Canteen. The Providence Canteen provides food, water, and other drinks for first responders at large incidents.
Second.
Thank you. Again, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any concerns, questions? Too late. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the donation of $300 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the Holiday Spirit Committee, donated generously to the Council on Aging.
Second.
Thank you. Again, I think it's self-explanatory. Any questions, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes. Hang on here. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the generous donation from Met Fab Engineering of 20 custom step tools designed to aid in the installation of grave flags. The value of these tools is $800.
Second.
Okay, thank you for that second. I think, again, it's pretty self-explanatory. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. That motion passes. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the generous donation of $750 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the Attleboro Elks Lodge 1014 to the Veterans Office.
Second.
Thank you. Again, self-explanatory. All those in favor?
Aye.
And any questions, concerns?
Just a comment, that name comes up so many times over the period of a year, the Attleboro Elks, and how they take care of our veterans. It's part of their motto. You know, a veteran will never be forgotten, and this goes to show you how they truly mean it. So,
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you, Pete. They constantly offer some assistance, and so that's really great. They're always on my list here. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the generous donation of $300 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the Holiday Spirit Committee to the Veterans Office.
Second.
Thank you. Again, self-explanatory. If there are no further questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That motion passes. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the generous donation to the Health Department of $700 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the Holiday Spirit Committee for Families in Need.
Second.
Thank you. Again, self-explanatory. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That motion passes. And from the docket of December 17th, 2019, I entertain a motion to transfer $5,500 from account 11241000578300, Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer, to account 1541100-558330, Council on Aging, copier. Need for funds to purchase a Ricoh IMC 300 color multifunction copier for the Council on Aging.
Second.
Thank you. Again, I think it's something that they need over there, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We know that they're always in dire need of certain equipment. They wait until it's practically dead on the floor. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That motion passes. And from the docket of December 17th, 2019, I entertain a motion to declare surplus and available for disposition an Eaton Power Ware 9170 UPS frame from the MIS department.
Second.
Thank you.
Do we know
Any
what that
questions,
is?
concerns? Well, I don't know what it is, but I know that he needs it, so that's all.
Okay, no, I
Is
just,
that okay? I mean, even if I told you what it was, you wouldn't know what it was, Peter. So,
Okay.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, that motion passes. And that is all the motions and all the business that City Property and Claims Committee has this evening. I would like to request an adjournment at 8:03.
Second.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 8:03. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to call Ordinance Election Legislative Matter Committee to order at 8:03. I have one motion this evening, and I also have an update. Members are myself, Councilor DeSimone, and Vice President Jackson. From the docket of December 3rd, 2019, I entertain a motion to approve the request to the mayor to amend the following revised City of Attleboro Ordinance, Section 16-12.26, hydrant use. Notwithstanding the preceding paragraph, the $200 fee shall not apply to work to be performed by a contractor on any municipal roadway, including but not limited to paving, milling, sweeping, or other related work in any other city right-of-way.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Tyler, and I think Courtney Wunschel was also here to speak about this. Basically, we don't want to pay one department to pay the other city department. So this is just to eliminate that fee. So $200 was going from one department to pay the water department. It really just was kind of redundant and didn't make sense. So they came together and decided that it was best to eliminate that. We had the public hearing and they spoke on it. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. That motion passes. I also wanted to provide an update on the business that was from the summertime. Councilor Reynolds had introduced new business for the city to look at potentially creating a rent control board and asking the city solicitor for what that could look like. We did receive the city solicitor's opinion in late December. I wanted to kind of review that and then let everybody know what the next steps are that I'm looking at. So I created a packet to provide to everybody so we could see that our residents are pretty much split on this. I want to caution that in 1994, the state of Massachusetts did eliminate a rent control for the whole Commonwealth. Right now, only 7% of Massachusetts does have a rent control advisory board. So even though some people are saying it's really easy, we can move this forward quickly, it is a process. That's why only 7% of the state has it. So what I'd like to do now is to call for a public input meeting on January 30th. It's a Thursday at 7 o'clock, so it's the end of the month, to allow individuals to come in to let us know what their thoughts are on this. I do have to let you know that the city solicitor's opinion is pretty strongly worded in the sense that we would need to state that we have a housing emergency here in Attleboro. And it also states that when a rent control advisory board is created, and if they do decide to move forward with rent control, it usually has an ending period where it says that 6 months is what they allow that to for there to be rent control, and at that point it's up to the owner to decide if they want to continue with that. So it's very complicated. We have to first determine that we have a housing emergency. We have to then create a resolution that this honorable body would then have to determine. The other thing that I want to let people know is that sometimes people are writing in and saying, support rent control, please tell us what it's going to be. That will never be
on us to determine. What's before us right now is to potentially create a rent control board, and it would be up to them to determine if they want to move that, what that would look like. So the process that's before us right now is to hear from the public, and then if we decided to create a resolution and that resolution passed, it would go to the state. At that point, the state would then determine, and it would go through their process. So they have their own kind of state attorney that would then review it, and it would go from there. And then it would cycle back to the administration if it was approved at the state level to create this rent control board. And they would be determining who the members would be and all of that. So I know that there's some strong opinions on this and that people are feeling very desperate, and I want to let them know that we are trying to do the best we can, but this is a process. So I'd love to hear from my committee or anyone, but this is kind of what we're going to be looking at, and we'll hear from everybody in the next couple weeks, hopefully that can attend. Any comments? Go ahead.
It'll be interesting to see, like we were talking earlier, what the state is actually doing with, because I noticed that on the news, I saw it very briefly this evening, but they were discussing it at the State House. I think it was at the Senate level just today, and they had protesters out there. So it would be interesting to see when we follow up as we move along at the end of the month, see what they're doing so that we can kind of follow along.
Yes, I completely agree with that. And yeah, there was something that was being introduced at the state level, and I'm also going to allow Representative Hawkins to come in and to speak as well, because I know he's been speaking to some.
I would like to say, I don't know where we're going to end up, but from the little bit of research I've been able to do, this is a growing trend with private companies buying mobile parks. They're a great investment. People are making a lot of money. However, I did notice like Easton and some other smaller towns have established rent control boards, so I'm kind of curious about how they have done it. I don't know if we can reach out to other cities and towns about the process.
Yes.
If we get that far, if that's what we decide to do, but.
Yes, so the packet of information does have Easton in here, and it did have some devastating effects in some other communities because actually a mobile park did close. The developer decided to just close it instead of dealing with that. So, does anyone, go ahead, Councilor, please.
Thank you. I agree with Councilor DeSimone. I think what we're seeing is a change in trend, and a lot of the mobile home parks are now more senior housing, and as people who are downgrading, and what we're seeing is exactly these big corporations coming in, and what they're doing when they're coming in is they're really raising the rate anywhere from 8% or higher. And I think Somerville has something. I think Plainville just recently established something. I've been in communication with some residents from Sandcastle who are really concerned, and I get it. I think that it is a process. It's quite the process, and I think we need to control, similar to what we're doing on Council Kobus's committee, we need to control the pieces that we can control, because we all know that the state regulations are going to come in and they're going to trump whatever it is that we do. So we need to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row, and we have to look out for these people because there's also a growing population of homeless seniors because of these situations, and to me that's really scary. So whatever the end result is, the end result is, but we need to make sure we're doing our due diligence. So thank you for the opportunity to speak.
So I just want to talk a little bit about what happened down there at Sandcastle, because back maybe 6 months ago, I think I had sent everybody the email, I think it was 6 months ago, it could have been 8, that talked about them selling it, and that Legacy is just one of many places that have come forward and started purchasing this. Unfortunately for Sandcastle, that particular area was only, for tax purposes, was estimated to be $3 million. And it sold for $13 million. So, that changed everything for the people that bought it, in fairness to them. Now they bought a $13 million property and then have to be making some money as well. But if in fact it had been appraised over the years at more money, they would have incrementally been getting maybe a larger fee as rent. That's what the owner would have done. Didn't have to do that for many, many years, and then all of a sudden at the sale it went from being worth $3 million to $13. That was a problem. So we need, first of all, to be really on top of that with this assessor and make sure that we're assessing the property or low-income housing properly. The second thing is that people are on fixed incomes. It is difficult. I think that what we're doing here by sending it back to the state, because it is coming out more often, because there's more elderly, you know, so I mean, it is coming out more frequently in Massachusetts. How are we going to handle rent control? Who's going to do it? We had discussed this, and I think one of the things that we have to discuss further is that we are putting it in the hands of the state, so that this council is not responsible for setting the rate. That is not our job, to decide to make those kinds of decisions. So we have made the decision that we're going to at least talk to all of us, talk to the people in the city, and decide on a control board, a rent control board. If we decide that's something after hearing from everybody, that's what Diana is saying here, Councilor Holmes, is that it will then go to the state with us writing what we think should be a part of it, and then they will tell us actually whether they think we need one here in Attleboro, because they will decide whether we have enough already low-income housing, and if it is reasonable, because that is the way they're going now in the state of Massachusetts. And at that time, Representative Hawkins will take it further at the state level, which he's been, I believe, a supporter of as well. But we will write the first proposal into the state as a body here. And I think we've done a lot of due diligence. Diana's got a lot of information that I gave her, people have given her. So a lot of the things, Kathleen, you're talking about, we have, and we have been discussing them. Not at large here, not a lot here, but definitely with the attorney.
Go ahead, Councilor.
Yeah, I agree with everything that everybody said regarding concerns, and I just want to say that I appreciate all the work that Councilor Reynolds and Councilor Holmes have put into this, and for my packet, which is really helpful. You keep everything in one spot, so thank you for all that information. And I have gone over all the paperwork as it's been coming in, but I'll certainly go over the packet again, and I just appreciate both your work on this, and thank you.
Thank you. So look forward to seeing who can come out January 30th, and then we'll regroup after that. And any other comments or questions? I will call for an adjournment.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 8:15. Thank you.
You already did your tax abatement, right? I'll be canceling the special committee on council's rules and procedures, and I will be handling the capital improvements in city development for tonight. So I'd like to call capital improvements in city development to order at 8:16. There is one motion this evening from the docket of January 7th, 2020. I entertain a motion to approve the transfer of $10,254 from account 578-300 citywide reserve fund for transfer to account 113-1000-585-026 budget and admin printer to purchase an HP DesignJet T2600 36IN postscript multifunction printer for the combined use of the Assessor's Office and the Department of Planning and Development. The existing piece of equipment located in the Assessor's Office is well beyond its useful life expectancy and needs to be replaced for both departments to use.
Second.
Anybody have any questions or anything? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I'd like to call for an adjournment at 8:17.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 8:17. Thank you.
Kathleen, did you cancel your committee?
No, can I just call it briefly?
Yeah.
Since I'm here.
You can do whatever you want.
All right, I'd like to call to order the Transportation and Traffic Committee at 8:17. Members of the committee are Mr. Conti, who's not here, and Reynolds, Council Reynolds. I just want to apprise the committee that I'm not ready to take any action on the items. I did attend the Traffic Study Commission meeting last week. However, it was brief, and it wasn't the appropriate time to get into this stuff, so I plan on attending their meeting tomorrow, with hopes of beginning to introduce some of the matters at hand, and I'll be able to have more information at the next committee meeting.
Thank you.
But I welcome, council, if you have any suggestions, concerns, thoughts that you need me to know or bring to the Traffic Study Commission on these issues, let me know.
Thank you. You've got your hands full, but you'll figure it out, I'm sure.
So I just want to let you know I'm working on it.
I
and,
know,
hope
it's
to
a
be more
lot.
up to speed at the next meeting.
Thank you.
And with that, I'll adjourn at 8:17. All those oh, forgive me, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Move to adjourn, thank you.
Good job.
Great.
First one's out.
Good job.
First one goes the hardest.
Sorry.
Yeah, the first one is always the hardest.
Can you pass it on? Present.
Any motions
Yes.
that anybody has, send them my way.
I didn't say
We'll get this party started.
I wasn't literally sleeping, but I completely blanked. I was reading along.
Mayor's communication.
January 14th, 2020. Dear municipal councilors, as you may recall, under the Shipback landfill consent decree, the city is responsible for paying EPA's future response costs. The city received an invoice from the EPA for costs which were incurred between May 1st, 2018 and April 30th, 2019. These costs, which were not provided to the city prior to the fiscal year 20 budget being developed, must now need to be paid. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body transfer $77,577.79 from account citywide reserve fund for transfer to account citywide previous year's bill. Upon approval, the available balance in reserve fund for transfer to include any pending requests will be $259,824.41.
Capital Improvements and City Development Committee, please.
Sincerely, Paul Haru, Mayor.
Thank you. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to go into Committee of the Whole.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you, motion passes. Anyone here who wishes to address the council on any matter of city business? George, you're the only one. Come on, once.
Come on up.
At this time, I'd entertain a motion to arise.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. At this time, we'll go on to the committee report, starting to my left with Councilor Blair.
Thank you, President Cooper. Reporting for Public Safety and Emergency Management. From the docket of January 21st, 2020, the Attleboro Fire Department has received an Emergency Management Performance Grant from the Mass Energy Management Agency for $15,500. These funds may be utilized for emergency management-related activities and equipment procurement. Therefore, I entertain a motion to approve expending of such funds and any future grant amendments in accordance with the city ordinances.
Second. Oops.
This
Thank you. Motion
particular grant is a participation grant, but we have some equipment coming from the general fund, and we'll take care of our share we're allowed to use.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and we'll begin, I believe.
Ms. Holmes. She is.
Councilor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Clovis.
Yes.
Mr. Delicio.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes,
10 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you, motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of January 21st, 2020, the Attleboro Police Department, in collaboration with the Taunton Police Department, has been awarded a 2020 Senator Charles E. Shannon Jr. Community Safety Initiative grant of $10,705.30. Therefore, I entertain a motion to approve expending of such funds and any future grant amendments in accordance with city ordinances.
Second.
Thank you, motion's in order. Any questions or
Thank you.
comments?
We discussed this just a few minutes ago in committee, and again, I want to thank the grant writers in the city for the job they do.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Delicio.
Yes.
Mr. Clovis.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan. Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you, motion passes.
I have no other business this evening, but we'll call for a committee meeting next week at the appropriate time.
Thank you. Councilor DeSimone.
Next week.
President Cooper, the Transportation and Traffic Committee has no business to report, but I'd like to call a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Councilor Conti.
Mr. President, I have no clue.
Let me give you the update.
I read it for you, Rick.
Counselor Dolan did the one motion for your committee. You can defer to her when we get there, or you can take it, it's completely up to
I would love
you.
to do that, please, Councilor Dolan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome. And a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Please.
Thank you.
And I'll
Councilor
be on
Water,
time.
thank you for coming. Councilor Waterman.
Yes, from the docket of January 21st, 2020, reporting. I move to approve the appointment of Beth Gould, 14 Hutchinson Road, to fill an expired term on the Board of Library Trustees, term to expire February 2023.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any questions or comments, Council Waterman?
None. I think Beth will be a fine addition to the trustees of the library.
I agree. Any additional comments? Seeing none, voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes.
And from the docket of January 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion to strike the following. The public hearing relative to the suspension and the removal of Joseph Caponegro from the Traffic Study Commission.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments, Council Waterman?
I think that was explained adequately, unless there's any other questions.
Okay. This requires a roll call vote, and we'll begin with Councilor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Cobus?
Yes.
Mr. Delicio?
Yes.
Vice President Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Cooper?
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
And from the docket of January 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion to call for a Section 3.4 hearing on January 21st, 2020 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers with the mayor and city council relative to the suspension and the removal of Joseph Caponegro from the Traffic Study Commission.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments, Council Waterman?
Well, we have also discussed that thoroughly, so I don't know if anybody has any other questions.
But, let me just fix the perplexed look on Councilor Conti's
I
face,
think that's
if
wise.
I could.
I'm all yours.
You are free to
So,
do so.
in the committee meeting, Council Conti, we discussed the meeting that I had today with the city solicitor and the mayor regarding procedurally what should happen, being that this has never happened before. It was the opinion of the solicitor that a Section 3.4 hearing was more appropriate than the public hearing, and that hence the two motions, one to strike, one to call for the meeting. At the committee meeting, there was a discussion regarding who could speak at that public hearing and when the public could offer any input if they wanted to. And at the Section 3.4 hearing, it will be the mayor, it will be Joseph Caponegro, it will be the traffic study, the mayor and any that he designates to offer testimony, Joe, and then the Traffic Study Commission. If members of the public wanted to address this council on that matter, they have the committee of the whole opportunity to do that.
Excellent.
Does that help?
Yes, and will copies of the city solicitor's memo be available to all councils?
She didn't issue an opinion at that meeting, and she will be here Thursday to explain the process to us in the meeting on Thursday.
Excellent. I like the resolution.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional, Councilor Kovas?
If I may, who will preside over the hearing? Who will be?
So the public meeting is, the council is calling for the public meeting. The hearing is the mayor.
So he will run that meeting?
We will run it together. It's not a joint public hearing, it's not a joint public meeting. So that, but the calling the meeting to order, having the meeting, addressing the council, Joe, all of that, testimony will be received at the time of the public Section 3.4 hearing. The solicitor was very specific about what we call it. It's a Section 3.4 hearing.
So both you and the mayor will preside, or will be the person running the meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? Okay. You all set?
I have one little question. The Section 3.4 hearing called for in the charter states that it's a public hearing, and
It does not state it's a public hearing, Councilor Conti. It's a public meeting, which is what we got hung up on for 2.5 hours.
Excellent. And doesn't really specify who is going to call that public meeting.
the council, because we are going to be present more than 6, we have to publicly
Yes.
call for this meeting in
Yes.
order to avoid a open meeting law violation.
Excellent, yeah, which
So
wasn't
we
even thought of
covered.
when the charter was written.
Never thought of. So we've covered lots of bases more than once.
Yeah, good. I'm very
Today.
comfortable with this.
Good, thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair. Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Delicio.
Yes.
Mr. Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you, motion passes.
From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I move to approve the following reappointments to positions and for terms as indicated. Laban O'Brien, alternate inspector of wiring, 1 year, February 2021. Cynthia Amara, city solicitor, 1 year, February 2021. These are expirations. Dorothy Brissette, community development director, 2 years, February 2022. Scott LaChance, director of emergency management, 3 years, February 2023. Ken Badger, director of veterans service agent, burial agent, 2 years, February 2022. Scott LaChance, forest warden, 1 year, February 2021. Christopher Quinn, health officer, 1 year, February 2021. William McDonough, inspector of buildings, mechanical inspector, 3 years, February 2023. Kyle Hegney, lockup keeper, 1 year, February 2021. Catherine Rigo, parking administrator, 1 year, February 2021. Dennis Walsh, recreation director, 3 years, February 2023. And Michael Tyler, superintendent of public works, 3 years, February 2023.
Second.
Thank you, motion's in order. Any comments?
I believe this stands for itself.
A voice vote is required, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
From the docket of January 7th, 2020, in accordance with vote number 7 of May 21st, 2019, I move to appropriate $27,900 from the undesignated fund balance, free cash, general government to the following. I will skip these numbers and move to the words. Account Mayor Longevity, $2,700. Account Budget Administration Longevity, $3,200. Account Audit Accounting Longevity, $2,100. Account Treasurer Longevity, $1,300. Account Collector Longevity, $200. Account Personnel Longevity, $400. Account Clerk Longevity, $200. Account Elections Longevity, $900. Account Planning Longevity, $2,300. Account Inspection Longevity, $400. Account Animal Control Longevity, $2,100. Account Public Works Longevity, $1,300. Account Health Longevity, $7,200. Account Council and Aging Longevity, $3,200. Account Library Longevity, $200. And Account Recreation Longevity, $200.
Second.
Thank you, motion's in order. Any comments?
We do this on an annual basis. This is routine work, actually.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Councilor Holmes.
Yep. Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Cobus.
Yes.
Mr. Delicio.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
And from the docket of January 7th, 2020, I move to approve the transfer of $4,400 from the wastewater enterprise fund, reserve fund for transfer to the wastewater enterprise fund longevity.
Second.
Thank you, motion's in order. Any comments?
No comments.
Thank you. Roll call, any additional comments? A roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Delicio.
Yes.
Mr. Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I move to transfer $2,300 from the Water Enterprise Fund Reserve Fund for transfer to the Water Enterprise Fund longevity.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
This is routine work.
Yep. The roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Council Holmes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Cobus?
Yes.
Mr. Delicio?
Yes.
Vice President Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Cooper?
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
From the docket of December 3rd, 2019, I move to approve the appointment of Gianna Pena to fill an expired term on the Attleboro Youth Commission, term to expire February 2023.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
Just that I think Gianna will be a wonderful addition to the Attleboro Youth Commission, and she's already been helping.
Great. Any other additional comments? A voice vote is required. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Motion passes.
That concludes business of the Human Services Committee.
Thank you.
Vice President Jackson?
Mr. President, reporting for the Public Works Committee from the docket of January 7th, 2020. I move to transfer $1,000 from the Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer account to account animal control vehicle and equipment for the insurance deductible due to damage sustained to the animal control vehicle.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
No, we discussed it earlier. It's, the animal control vehicle had an accident and it's to pay for the deductible.
Perfect. Thank you. Roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Council Holmes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Cobus?
Yes.
Mr. Delicio?
Yes.
Vice President Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Cooper?
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I move to approve the request of the mayor to appropriate $262,458.47 from the Water Enterprise Fund retained earnings account to the Water Enterprise Fund water meters account. These funds are needed for the ongoing water meter replacement program for fiscal year 2020. To date, 83% of residential meters have been upgraded.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Councilor.
Yes, just to reiterate that to date, 83% have been replaced, so I can't wait for it to be completely done.
Great. Any additional comments? Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Council Holmes.
No. Council
Nope.
Blair?
Council Blair?
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Vice President Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Delicio?
Yes.
Mr. Cobus?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
President Cooper?
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, the Parks Department has requested funds to purchase a Freightliner heavy-duty grapple body with a heavy-duty 10-foot chip box with a 45-degree dump angle to replace a 2003 F-450 4x4. Therefore, I move to fund account 16501-000-587071 Park Chip Truck in the amount of $265,907 by transferring $153,000 from the Citywide Reserve Fund for Capital account and appropriating $112,907 from the undesignated fund balance free cash general government account.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We discussed this earlier in committee as well.
Any other additional questions? A roll call vote is required, to begin with Council Holmes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Cobus?
Yes.
Mr. Delicio?
Yes.
Vice President Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Cooper?
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. I have no further business this evening for the Public Works Committee, but I would like to call for a committee meeting at the appropriate time next week.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, President Cooper. Reporting for budget and appropriations from the docket of January 21st, 2020. I entertain a motion to transfer $45,000 from account undesignated fund balance free cash general government to account treasurer professional services regarding the need for additional funding for anticipated legal fees for old tax title accounts and foreclosures.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
No comment.
Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Mr. Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of January 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $100 from account Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to Council Supplies Office to supplement for remainder of the fiscal year.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
It's gonna be a big hit, but Virginia's worth it.
Thank you. Roll call vote is required. We'll begin with Counselor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Cobus.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to transfer $4,705 from account Citywide Boiler Replacement to account Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer. The boiler replacement from October 2019 did not use a contingency built into the appropriation.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional discussion? Thank you. Roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Mr. Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to transfer $8,000 from account Council on Aging salaries to account Council on Aging maintenance of buildings to provide cleaning services at the senior center due to the retirement of the custodian in November.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
We did just discuss this, but it's important to note that this is for the janitor retired and the custodian retired in November. These funds are to use the cleaning service through the end of the fiscal year.
Okay. Any additional comments? Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and begin with Counselor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Cobus.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. And from the docket of January 7th, I entertain a motion to transfer $50 from account Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to veterans' bills from previous years to pay a fiscal 19 invoice from the Veterans Office.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional
It's
comments?
just to pay for back-ordered flags. The invoice came in a little later than they were expecting.
Okay. Any additional comments? A roll call vote's required, and begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Mr. Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of December 17th, 2019, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor regarding the need to pay a Veterans Office fiscal 19 invoice from United Site Services in the amount of $236.50. A vote authorizing payment is needed to satisfy their debt. There is no transfer of funds needed for these services, as there is sufficient funding in account veterans' bills from previous years.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any?
No, we just discussed this recently.
Great. A roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Counselor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Cobus.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. I entertain a motion to strike the following: to establish a budget under a specified department and it should say to establish a budget line item under a specific department and superintendent for the former Highland Country Club.
Second.
Motion's in order. Any additional questions?
Just discussed this earlier.
Thank you. The voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. I entertain a motion to strike the following: that the city of Attleboro accept a local exemption to allow research and development corporations to be taxed as manufacturing corporations in accord with Mass General Law as amended by ST 2010, Chapter 240-108, effective for tax years beginning on or after January 1st, 2018.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
Council Conti, where you weren't here, I did want to, as I said in the end of last term and last year, if there were any pieces of business that people had questions on, I didn't hear back. I figured it's something that really was just kind of gathering some moss, but it's something that we can certainly entertain at a later date.
Exactly.
Thank you. Any additional questions? A voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes.
I entertain a motion to strike the following: to research, investigate, establishing a separate stabilization fund for the purposes of establishing a fund to replace the Attleboro High School track surface and/or the artificial athletic field in the future.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order.
Done.
Yeah.
Any additional comments? Seeing none, a voice vote is required. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes.
Finally, I entertain a motion to strike the following: to establish a procedure for notifying the business community of proposed new ordinance or revisions to existing ordinances that may affect their businesses.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
None.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Seeing none, voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, President Cooper, and that concludes the business of budget and appropriations, and I would like to call for a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council Cobus.
Reporting to the Zoning and Land Use Committee from the docket of October 22nd, 2019. I move to declare available for disposition a 7,236 square foot area of a discontinued portion of Frank Mossberg Drive, specified as Lot A, as shown on the plan entitled Street Discontinuance Plan of Land in Attleboro, Mass., prepared by John D. Bremser, PLS of Hancock Associates, 183 Center Street, Danvers, Mass. 01923, dated April 8th, 2019.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order.
We discussed this in committee. Again, we did the street discontinuance. We voted on that on June 25th. This is now making that portion of land available for disposition. The public hearing was on November 19th. Nobody spoke in favor or in opposition.
Thank you. Any additional questions or comments?
I do. So the
Yep.
public hearing happened last year, so
Oh, right.
Kathleen, yes, that's right. The record reflect Kathleen's. Good catch, thank you.
Yeah, that was good.
Any additional comments? Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Councilor Blair. And again, let the record reflect that Councilor DeSimone is not voting on this matter.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Mr. Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
yes.
President Cooper.
Yes,
10 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you, motion passes. You said 10, right?
Yes.
10-0, okay, thank you.
That concludes the business for the Zoning and Land Use Committee. I call for committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you, Councilor Dolan.
The License Committee has no business this evening, and I'd like to call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time. Although I do have one motion for capital improvements for
Thank you.
city development. From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I move to approve the transfer of $10,254 from account Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account Budget and Admin Printer to purchase an HP Design Jet T2636 IN postscript multifunction printer for the combined use of the Assessor's Office and the Department of Planning and Development. The existing piece of equipment located in the Assessor's Office is well beyond its useful life expectancy and needs to be replaced for both departments' use.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
No, unless Mr. Conti has any.
I can say that this device is essential to the core operation of both departments. That without it, their handicap is severe, and they would have to find a similar unit somewhere else in the city to send their printing to. I highly support this maneuver.
Thank you. Any additional questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Mr. Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes,
7 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
I apologize. That's all the business for,
Mr. President,
Yes.
may I have the floor?
You may.
The capital improvement plan, councilors, was delivered to your boxes this week in what is unquestionably historic timetable. I'd like to sing the praise of city planner Gary Bration for his diligent work of moving this up in his schedule and delivering the book in time as per the charter for the first time that I've been in Attleboro, and that's been over 30 years. The importance of this is about to be seen by all of you, that we're going to have a public meeting, capital improvement city development meeting, committee meeting with department heads on Wednesday, January 29th, and on Monday, February 2nd. Then we're having a public hearing February 3rd. Then at the committee meeting on February 11th, the committee will draft our resolution for the council. And on the 18th of February, the council will vote on the committee's letter to the mayor regarding capital improvements, which puts, for the first time, correctly, in the hands of the mayor, what the council would support in capital improvements for the coming year before he sits down and does his budget. So I am very thrilled that this is happening in accordance with our forefathers' vision, and I cannot thank Gary Aration enough for readjusting his schedule to accommodate this. I'm really happy, and that concludes my comments.
Thank you, Council Conti. Council Delicio.
Thank you for getting this. I know it's something we've been talking about pretty much ad nauseum. I think this is important, and I think this kind of falls in line with a lot of what we've talked about when we've had different budget meetings, and I think this is gonna help give us a little bit more of a plan as it comes to capital improvements and how it correlates to the budget. So I think this is a great first start, and thank you for your work on that.
Any additional comments? Thank you, Council Conti. Would you like to call for a committee meeting?
I would. That concludes the business of the capital improvement city development for the council this evening. We'd like to call for a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Council Reynolds.
Thank you, President Cooper. Reporting for City Property and Claims Committee, from the docket of January 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion to declare the following budget administration parking enforcement item as surplus and available for disposition. A 2006 Ford Crown Vic, VIN number 2FAFP71W76X122159. It's got 142,272 miles. It's in poor condition.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order.
No comment.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Councilor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
yes.
Mr. Cobus?
Yes.
Mr. Delicio?
Yes.
Vice President Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Cooper?
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
From the docket of January 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion that the Veterans Office accept the anonymous donation of $100 in Stop and Shop gift cards and $500 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the Disabled American Veterans Chapter 91. As always, thank you for these generous donations.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order.
No comments.
Thank you. Any additional comments? A voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes.
From the docket of January 21st, 2020, I entertain a motion that the generous donation to the Attleboro Police Department of a Dell Inspiron 5482 computer laptop with an approximate value of $800 be accepted from the Attleboro Rotary Club.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
No.
Thank you. A voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to declare surplus and available for disposition the Fire Department's 2008 GMC ambulance that was removed from service and donated to the Special Signal Fire Association, which is a 510c3 nonprofit organization that operates the Providence Canteen. The Providence Canteen provides food, water, and other drinks for first responders at large incidents.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional comments?
No, sir.
Any, voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
From the
Opposed? Thank you, motion passes.
From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the donation of $300 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the Holiday Spirit Committee donated generously to the Council on Aging.
Second.
Thank you, motion's in order. Any additional comments?
No, I do not.
Voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes.
From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the generous donation from MetFab Engineering of 20 custom step tools designed to aid in the installation of gray flags. The value of these tools is $800.
Second.
Thank you, motion's in order. Any additional comments?
No, sir.
Voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, motion passes.
From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the generous donation of $750 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the Attleboro Elks Lodge, number 1014, to the Veterans Office.
Second.
Thank you, motion is in order. Any additional comments?
No, sir, I do not.
Voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, motion passes.
From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the generous donation of $300 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the Holiday Spirit Committee to the Veterans Office.
Second.
Thank you, motion's in order. Any additional comments?
No, sir.
Thank you. Voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, motion passes.
From the docket of January 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the generous donation to the Health Department of $700 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the Holiday Spirit Committee for families in need.
Second.
Thank you, motion's in order. Any additional comments?
No, sir.
Seeing none, voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, motion passes.
From the docket of December 17th, 2019, I entertain a motion to transfer $5,500 from Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to Council on Aging copier need for funds to purchase a Ricoh IMC 300 color multifunction copier for the Council on Aging.
Second.
Thank you, motion is in order. Any additional comments?
No, sir.
Roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Clovis.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
From the docket of December 17th, 2019, I entertain a motion to declare surplus and available for disposition an Eaton Powerware 9170 UPS frame from the MIS Department.
Second.
Thank you, motion's in order. Any additional comments?
I do not.
A roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Counselor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Clovis.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
That is all the business for the City Property and Claims Committee, and I would like to call a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think, so reporting for Ordinance Election Legislative Matters Committee, from the docket of December 3rd, 2019, I move to approve the request of the mayor to amend the following revised City of Attleboro Ordinance, Section 16-12.26, hydrant use. Notwithstanding the preceding paragraph, the $200 fee shall not apply to work to be performed by a contractor on any municipal roadway project, including but not limited to paving, milling, sweeping, or other related work in any city right-of-way.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Before any comments, Mr. Withers, just the record to reflect that Council DeSimone is not going to vote on this matter. Council Holmes.
Thank you. So we discussed this, and we had a public hearing in December of last year. Mr. Tyler and Mrs. Warnchell spoke in favor of this. It's basically one department paying another, so we're just eliminating that fee, and I do feel like it makes sense.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Vice President Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Mr. Clovis.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
That concludes the business this evening, and I'll call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. And, we have no old business. There are 3 items of new business in which I will recognize Councilor Dolan.
Thank you, President Cooper. I move to refer the following to the appropriate committee for study and recommendation to install a stop sign on Nichols Way at Ritchie Road.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
So Nichols Way is a new street. I'm sure most of you know where Ritchie Road is. It's a new development, Bob Catanacci's development. And Nichols Way goes into Ritchie Road, and as most of us, I'm sure, know, Ritchie Road, how it's long. I've been getting complaints that people aren't stopping on Nichols Way. They're just coming right into Ritchie Road, and there's been numerous issues with people and cars, and so I'd like to see that looked at, and maybe we can take care of that for the folks down there.
Great. Any additional comments? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Refer that to Transportation and Traffic Committee, and Council DeSimone, would you like to send that to the Traffic Study Commission as well?
Yes, please.
Thank you. That matter is also referred to Traffic Study Commission.
Yep.
I move to refer the, I'm sorry?
Yes, we did. Sorry. Keep going. Long day.
I move to refer the following for to the appropriate committee for study and recommendation to install a rectangular rapid flashing beacon, RRFB, on Wall Street at South Main Street crosswalk.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments, Council Dolan?
Everybody knows where Wall Street is and South Main. I've been getting complaints on in this area as well, and I went down there, and it was a little scary. If you've come up on Wall Street, it's hard enough to get people to stop at any crosswalks. It's so bad, but this one in particular, I feel like people they go so fast that they're not even stopping before the crosswalk at all. And the opening to the street is extremely wide, so it takes someone able-bodied or with any disabilities a long time to get from one end to the other, and they're finding that they're having difficulty coming from Renaissance Station, and now we're going to have the other Renaissance built as well. So I feel, and an RRFB, if anybody doesn't know, there's no traffic light, but you can push a button and it flashes to give you time to walk across the street. So that's what that
Any
is.
additional questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes, and that matter will be referred to Transportation and Traffic. And Council DeSimone, would you like to send to Traffic Study Commission?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Motion passes.
I move to refer the following to the appropriate committee for study and recommendation to install a rectangular rapid flashing beacon, RRFB, on South Main Street at the train station crosswalk.
Second.
This would be going south, excuse me.
Thank you. Any additional comments?
So this is going south, heading under the train bridge, that crosswalk there. Again, it's on a corner. People go fast. I went down there and I kind of, did all the crosswalks myself, and it wasn't fun. So I know, people have a hard time getting across there as well. And the people at Renaissance Station that go both ways, that go across Wall Street and then cross back on the other side.
Any additional comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes, and that will also go to Transportation and Traffic and the Traffic Study. Thank you. Good to have. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Don't forget Thursday night, everybody.
We are adjourned at 9:11.
So while